Well, it's January, so I guess we all know what that means. So we know tomorrow we're going to be getting the Tag Duel Tournament event, and with that we're going to be getting a brand new maintenance. And usually, if you've been following this channel for a while, you'll know that Konami decides to, or likes to at least, sometimes include future tidbits about upcoming events with like a single update. So we might tomorrow be getting information about the 2-year anniversary celebration as well as the Epic Yugi event. So I do want to do a speculation video like I did for the Jack event for what rewards he could have. So I hope we kind of don't get that tomorrow. But this video is kind of going to go down a different direction. It's going to talk about some of the cards that Yami Yugi could be using himself. So this is based on, one, the fact we know we're getting Magician the Dark Illusion, which is a pretty powerful support or piece of support for the Dark Magician archetype. You can special summon from your hand when a spell or trap or card effect is activated during your opponent's turn when you activate one. So that's pretty cool. So basically, Players at Canada, you're kind of going to want to muck around with that in your deck and be changing your opponent's monster to face on defense position, then bringing this guy out, having a nice big monster to kill your opponent's monster with next turn. Also, it can special summon a Dark Magician from your graveyard when a spell or trap card is activated or while it's facing on the field. So that's also pretty cool. So just a nice big card to improve the swarm potential of that deck even further than it already kind of has. Now, we know that some of these cards I'm going to talk about today, at least, are in the game already. If you went to Japan and you saw the special pack we talked about a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, where you could get a Sonic Chick as well as some like alternate arts for other cards in the game, you will know that, or at least there's a Duel Links YouTuber, a Japanese YouTuber, who recorded footage of them going against the actual event character, and that Yugi had access to 2 pretty powerful trap cards for Dark Magicians. I'll talk about those today, as well as 2 other cards that I think are pretty good for the deck in general, and ones that we probably won't get at all, because I think if we were able to acquire them at least, then that would mean that Dark Magician would be this massive tier 1 free-to-play deck, and I don't think that's going to happen. And I think that if they just like hype these cards up rather than just Dark Illusion, then we would have been getting them, because they are like Dark Illusion's here, and then the other cards are kind of like way up here. And Dark Illusion isn't even that good until we kind of get into the whole Exceed Summoning mechanic, which is going to be like a year away. So let's go and have a look at some of these new cards right now. So first up we have Eternal Soul. This is a continuous trap card, a pretty powerful continuous trap card, one that is, you like use this in any Dark Magician deck. Like there are 2 trap cards here and you can kind of intertwine them, but this is the best one. Every Dark Magician monster in your monster card zone is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. So that's Dark Magician, Magician Dark Illusion if you have Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, which we won't get, but if you have that, then it's unaffected. But if this face-up card leaves the field, then you destroy a monster you control, which in Duel Links is very easy to do. If you Cosmic Cyclone this, Galaxy Cyclone this, I don't know what else, like Quackimera Maximus, if you use that on this card, then all of your monsters on the field just go straight to the graveyard. It's a pretty high cost to kind of have, but if you have like a card that can protect Eternal Soul, then I guess that's pretty good. Also, it has 2 pretty good effects, so once per turn you can choose one of these, either special 1 Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard, so that's a nice easy way to get that guy out, or adding a Dark Magic attack or 1,000 Knives from your deck to your hand, so searching out for some pretty powerful cards. In TCG, most likely it'll be Dark Magic attack. I don't really see why you'd run 1,000 Knives, considering there's another card that is a lot better than that later on in this video, but still one of those support cards that you really just want to have in your deck as many as possible and to see as quickly as possible, which is why you kind of like searching this thing out with Magician's Rod, which you have in Duel Links already. So Eternal Soul, a card that Yugi has in the game right now that probably we're going to have to go up against and will be a bit of a nightmare, so bring your Cosmic Cyclones. Farming Yugi I think is going to be a bit hard. Then we have the other trap, which is in the game as well, Magician's Navigation. This is a very, very easy, very good way of just summoning 2 Dark Magicians to the field. So you special summon 1 from your hand, then summon a level 7 or lower Dark spellcaster from your deck. So Dark Magician Girl. In the TCG, you probably go into Apprentice Illusion Magician as well, which is another very powerful card. The big benefit, I think, to this card relies in its second effect. So If you control Dark Magician, except the turn is sent to the graveyard, you can banish it from the grave, then target one face-up spell or trap card your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of the turn, which means that if you chain this to the activation of like a Truth to Doomed, it will negate it and it won't work, and you'll be kind of safe. A Kwakimeru, the diamond thing, negate it, it's pretty cool, and it will, I believe it will also negate the effect of it in the graveyard as well. It'll still be able to activate and banish itself, but its effect will still be negated. I think that's how it works. But in general, it's a very powerful card, and obviously you're going to want to watch out for this if Yugi does use it, because then all those, like, he could negate your Secret Path to Treasures or Union Attack, which would really screw up your farming. So this might be a deck that is going to rely on maybe Ra to actually do bits with regards to farming at least. Next, we have two more pretty powerful cards. These are the last two cards I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about 4 cards in this video because I want to kind of, hopefully, if we don't get the leaks tomorrow, do a speculation video on what I think its rewards are going to be. But these two cards, I think, make the Dark Magician deck way better than it should be. And Duel Links will be pretty broken. Like, I tested it in, like, with myself, with my own cards, and like a 20 card deck, and you could just make an insane board like every single time. The first being Dark Magical Circle. It is a continuous spell card. When its cards activate, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You can reveal one Dark Magician and one spell trap card that lists the card Dark Magician in them, add it to your hand, then replace the remaining cards on top of the deck in any order. So it's like a much better version of Spellbook Organization, which, if you imagine if Spellbook Organization let you actually just like add one of those Spellbook cards to your hand, that would be pretty insane. Then, if Dark Magician is normal or special summoned to your side of the field, you can target one card your opponent controls and banish it, but that is a hard once per turn effect. So one free banish every turn, really, because the deck likes putting Dark Magician in the graveyard. It's not afraid to say, hey, tribute a spellcaster to bring something back. So Magician's Rod, you could retribute a Dark Magician, put, you know, the rod back into your hand, and then on your next turn you could play Eternal Soul or Navigation, and then try and bring back that Dark Magician back. So you'd get this continuous kind of cycle of searching and banishing and searching and banishing to build this nice big board. And in the TCG, you probably go into some Link or Xyz summons, get out your Flare Metal Dragon, just start burning them to death. But obviously in Duel Links that wouldn't be a thing. But this card isn't in Duel Links yet, it's not in the game files just yet, which, if it was, would be busted. And I think, like, even if we got one of these, I think it would be pretty ridiculous. And it would really force your opponent to kind of decide, do I want to choose Eternal Soul or choose Dark Magical Circle? And I think Dark Magical Circle is the one you always go for trying to go against Dark Magicians and trying to disrupt their plays, because getting monsters on board is something you can easily deal with. Dealing with a constant banishing per turn, that's another story. And the final card is probably like the best card, Duel Links wise. If we were to get it right now, this would probably be the best one because it's the most kind of generic. So, Apprentice Illusion Magician, level 6 Dark, 2000 attack, 1700 defense. You can special this card from hand by discarding one card. So any one card, not a spellcast or a dark card. It's literally a much better retrain of the Tricky, which is an ultra rare Duel Links. This would be like a fucking prismatic secret mega rare, I don't know. If this card is normal special summoned, search Dark Magician from your deck to your hand. That's pretty good. We don't really have, apart from Illusion Magic right now, a way to search out for Dark Magician, so Illusion Magician would do that very nicely. During damage calculation, if another dark spellcaster you control battles opponent's monster, you can send this card from your hand or face on the field to the graveyard, so that's where like the hand trap nature of this card comes in. That monster gains 2000 attack and defense during damage calc during that damage calc only. So for that one battle, Illusion herself would, if you had another one on the field, become 4000. Dark Magician 4500. Magician's Rod would be 3600. Like, their increase in attack would be so substantial that it would be very easy to kill your opponent just with these cards. It kind of reminds me of a Cypher Soldier in a way, with that amount of attack. And of course, we've only just got like hand traps for archetype specific cards. Like we just got Bajinji Crane like 2 sets ago, I think it was. So I think Illusion Magician, for an obtainable card, is a ways out, but would be quite tilting to like when we've had these events, like we've had the Duelist Chronicles event we have right now, and you face against Yugi, and he's the king of games, yet his skill is to summon Slifer on turn 3, and he doesn't really do anything and has no real game plan other than 3 obnoxious Celtic Guardians and try and deal with that. If Yugi actually had like a king of games level deck, like a very competent, really tilty deck like this to play against, I think 1, that's going to make the upcoming event way too fun, and 2, will trigger people so hard that it'll force them to actually not farm him and play like just a normal deck, and it'll feel like a game, and it won't feel like a grind to go against Yugi. and I think that's kind of what this needs. I would love all these cards to be obtainable in Duel Links. I would be playing Dark Magicians till the day I die, but they probably won't happen, and for good reason. They're pretty busted. I'm glad we're getting at least Magician of Dark Illusion. Again, if we get more information about his specific rewards, I'll talk about those, but these aren't going to be his rewards. These are going to be cards that he could potentially be playing. Again, more likely, Eternal Soul and Magician's Navigation are going to be two of those cards we'll see play. But anyway, that's going to be done for today's Duel discussion video. If you guys did enjoy, let me know your thoughts, comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.